thunderstorm warning in Stanley County that has produced half-dollar size hail, and a severe thunderstorm warning in Hughes County that could produce up to quarter-size hail. We'll keep an eye on these as they move to the east. Otherwise, for this afternoon, partly cloudy and 78 in Sioux Falls and Aberdeen, 85 in Pierre with a stronger wind and that chance of thunderstorms, rain showers, and 83 in Rapid City. We'll take another look at those thunderstorms in just a couple of minutes as we begin midday in KELOLAND.
Live from KELOLAND Media Group, midday in KELOLAND.
New this midday, changes are coming to Metro Communications. We'll let you know what they mean for you. Plus,
President Biden heads overseas on a trip focused on countering China's growing influence around the world. I'm Natalie Brand with a preview, plus what the vice president is telling CBS News about her travels to the region.
good afternoon and thanks for having us in. Metro Communications answers more than 400,000 calls across Minnehaha County, including 911 calls. The agency is currently its own organization, but a proposal would move it to a newly created office within the city of Sioux Falls. The change would not affect emergency response across the county. If the plan gets approved, it will go into effect on January 1st. We're going to tell you the reason behind the move tonight on KELOLAND News. A Northwest Iowa man is behind bars facing sex charges. The Sioux County Sheriff says 35-year-old Andrew Jocelyn is accused of soliciting a young girl for sex. The alleged crimes happened at a home in Hospers. Jocelyn is facing several charges, including sexual exploitation and sexual abuse. Sioux Falls Fire Rescue was called to help battle a structure fire in Brandon. This morning, when local crews arrived, a structure engulfed in flames that were seen in the walls, and smoke was abundant. Soon after they arrived, the fire was put out. Units monitored the structure to make sure the fire didn't start back up. Stay with us on air and online as we keep tracking developments with this story. Some other developments we're following this middays: heavy weather in the center of South Dakota. Let's turn now to Megan, who has those details.
We have a couple severe thunderstorms moving through central KELOLAND. One of them has produced half-dollar size hail. Both of them could produce quarter-sized to half-dollar size hail. There is a look at those for Stanley and Hughes County. They are both moving to the east, producing plenty of lightning and some pockets of heavy rain. We'll keep an eye on these as we go through the afternoon. We do have a few light rain and thunder showers that's stretch to the south between Mitchell and Winter. We'll keep an eye on all of this as they continue moving to the east throughout the day. So for right now, here is a view of that thunderstorm moving through the Pierre area at 58 degrees. East winds are at 17 miles an hour. And we are still dealing with some thicker wildfire smoke as well. The darker the gray, the thicker the smoke, and you can see that covers much of KELOLAND. Right now we have 68 in Yankton and Brookings, 70 in Watertown, 72 in Mobridge, 74 in Phillip, and 77 degrees in Custer. We have a south wind for basically everyone at 5 to 15 miles an hour. We could see some stronger winds under that thunderstorm in central KELOLAND as we go through this afternoon. So for today, with partly cloudy skies, 78 in Sioux Falls and Aberdeen, a windy 85 in Pierre with that chance of thunderstorms as they move to the east, 83 in Rapid City with the chance of a few light rain showers. And for this afternoon into this evening, we do have a risk of severe weather. A little farther south along the Nebraska border, hail and strong winds are going to be the main threats. So for tonight, partly to mostly clear skies, 56 in Sioux Falls and Aberdeen, 56 also in Pierre and in Rapid City. We'll watch as those rain and thunder shower chances move into southeastern KELOLAND later on this evening and for tonight. We'll take a closer look at that in just a little bit.
Thank you, Megan. In international developments, cave rescue teams launch a major operation to save an American researcher in southern Turkey. Rescue experts from across Europe have converged on a cave in Turkey to launch an operation to save an American researcher who became trapped around 3,000 feet below the surface after suffering gastrointestinal bleeding. The 40-year-old Mark Dickey suddenly became ill during an expedition in a cave in southern Turkey's Taurus Mountains. A New Jersey-based cave rescue group he's with says Dickey is doing better today. It's unclear what caused his medical issue. President Joe Biden is heading overseas, where he will make the pitch to world leaders that the United States is a more trustworthy economic partner than China. The meetings come as there is rising tension between Beijing and Washington over an important trade route. Natalie Brand reports with details from the White House.
President Biden heads overseas Thursday as part of the administration's push to counter China. The president's first stop will be in New Delhi, India, for a meeting with world leaders at the G20 summit. He'll then head to Vietnam, a country which has seen trade with the U.S. expand greatly as tensions between the U.S. and China increase.
If you look at the U.S. economy and you look at China's economy, if you look at the U.S.'s alliances and the strength that we have built up in the Indo-Pacific and beyond, we feel very good about the strategic position of the United States.
The president's travel follows Vice President Kamala Harris's trip to Indonesia, where she met with leaders from Southeast Asian nations. During her third trip to the region, the vice president spoke with CBS News Face the Nation moderator Margaret Brennan.
Why are you spending so much time in this particular part of the world?
The South China Sea, being in this region of the world, in those seas, 1/3 of global trade occurs.
The U.S. has stepped up naval patrols in the South China Sea to ensure that commerce ships can pass safely and freely through the region. The Biden administration says it's something that impacts all Americans.
Think about supply chain issues. If it is not secure, if it is not open, if there's not freedom of navigation and enforcement of maritime law, what that will mean in terms of impeding supply chains and how that will relate then to the average American. As tensions with China remain heightened, Chinese President Xi Jinping will not attend the G20. He's sending his second in command to India instead. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
While Jinping will not be in attendance at the G20 summit, the White House says Biden is still hopeful he can have face-to-face talks with the Chinese leader at some point in the near future. A dairy farmer in northeastern South Dakota says his family has been milking for over 100 years. Darren Zellner has a small herd near Groton in Brown County, but keeping this passion of his alive is getting tougher and tougher.
We're kind of in limbo right now. Dairy is always something that we had in our family and something we always kind of wanted our kids to be able to have a part of. So it's going to be a challenge. For sure.
We'll explain why he's in a tough position and the trends in the dairy industry coming up in tonight's Eye on KELOLAND at 10 o'clock. Still ahead, we